So think about this. Life without challenges, life without these pains and sufferings that we go through, will be life without forcing us and pushing us to adapt and grow and change as people to better handle these obstacles. It forces us to change into better, high caliber, functioning humans, people. And so that we can share this and help others handle theirs. And you want to be the kind of person that no matter what happens to myself or those around me, we can step in and say, oh, I got this. I'm going to handle this. Be a rock, being mentally tough. So I just got done running and I just felt inspired to share this insight that I had when exercising. Exercise and running always makes me feel very inspired and it makes me feel really good inside. And it always makes me have some sort of inspiration or like some message that I feel like sharing with people. I feel good and I want to share it with everybody. So I want to make this quick little video just about what suffering is, how the pain we go through and the meaning we give to it. So I go to the extent and say that suffering is necessary and we all need this. Now, I think everybody suffers to an extent and everyone has it differently and they give different meanings to it depending on where they're at in their lives. I think as we go through our path, the meaning, the definition of suffering changes. So I'm currently reading this book, 12 Stages of Healing by Donnie Epstein. He's a chiropractor and he deals more with energy and electromagnetic fields of humans when it goes to healing and the intelligence of our bodies allowing to heal itself. So I just kind of got started with it, but it was really interesting. I wanted to share this little thing about with you guys. So as you go through stages of healing, so it's really levels of awareness, human consciousness, and through as we go through our path and as we go through different stages or different levels of consciousness, our meaning of suffering changes. And it changes from, oh, why does this happen to me? Then not taking responsibility for what happens to us and how we deal with it, to as we go higher in the levels, we start to take responsibility, take our power back and realize and give suffering a whole definition and find purpose and meaning in suffering. So I want to say that suffering is necessary when it comes to finding our paths, when it comes to finding out about who we are, and what we're made out of when we go through tough times in life. And we may not be suffering ourselves right now, but the chance of us going through some sort of suffering in our entire lives is pretty high. It may not even be us, we may have it good, but our friends or families, those around us, they can go through different things. And you want to be the kind of person, or at least I want to be the kind of person that no matter what happens to myself or those around me, we can step in and say, oh, I got this. I'm going to handle this. Be a rock, being mentally tough, having a purpose in what's going on, and people can go to you and know that you are able to withstand whatever's going on, that you find meaning and purpose in everything that you do, but in this case, in what's going on, you're able to handle whatever happens. Being that light for everyone can see, and being that light for yourself, that no matter what happens, any kind of turmoil, you've developed such a character and such meaning inside yourself that you have this power and responsibility that you'll be able to take the bull by its horn, taking it and taking control over it, and not letting it control you and push you and let it, tumble you through life. And you can't handle things. You want to be that kind of, I want to be that kind of person. It's a better perspective to have when it comes to any sort of suffering. You find purpose and meaningful and you learn from it. So that's what I'm saying. You just want to be that kind of person. No matter what happens to you, you have a higher level perspective of consciousness to see what's really happening and being able to maintain a good, happy frame rather than saying, poor me, why am I a victim of this suffering? Realize there's a higher perspective, a higher meaning, and way you can handle that situation. And you can spread that light, you can spread that message to other people so that they can also be able to handle whatever happens. Because let's face it, like the world can get crazy sometimes. And I think the world would be better if we know how to handle things better, of course, and not letting the world push us around. But we taking responsibility for our power that we have over our minds. So in this sense, I think suffering is necessary for us to learn, for us to grow, because without it, there wouldn't be enough stress for us to want to grow and proceed forward. There's nothing pressuring us or pushing us. You know, when we go to the gym, when we work out, there's always a stress on our muscles, pain that we subject ourselves to so that we can grow to our goals, right? So same as in the physical strength, you want mental strength, emotional, spiritual strength. We want to keep growing and evolving, that we become more whole and more full, that we become overflowing of this fullness and wholeness in ourselves, that we can spread it to other people. So suffering is a path to becoming whole and fullness. So like they say, there's many paths to enlightenment, and suffering and going through the painful route is a very profound way, significant way to going through pain. But we don't always have to, if we can just rise above and realize that whatever's happening may not even be such of a suffering, and that is another level of consciousness, a level realizing that the pain and suffering is just what we do to ourselves, but it could be necessary for us to get to that next level of understanding. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to go too deep, but basically that suffering is a necessary way to reach us to become stronger, more disciplined, well-rounded, whole, and to actualize our full potential. And I hope this message helps somehow, some way, someone. Thanks for listening to my thoughts, my insight on suffering, this perspective on what suffering can lead you to higher potential.